We are here because the governor has proposed at least 3 bills that threaten to take Maryland back in time. These bills would bloat our prisons, waste precious taxpayer dollars, and exacerbate existing racial disparities that permeate every aspect of our criminal justice system. We as a coalition and as a people are saying that we have to be smart on crime. We know that being smart on crime is not going against national trends on smart reform. Being smart on crime would have a crime package that would not increase Maryland's prison population. It would seek to decrease it, as we have done over the last 2 years in reducing mandatory minimums and the over-incarceration of our youth.
If you don't know how the United States became the world's #1 incarcerator, this is it. These policies are those examples of how we got here. Police leaders across this country do not agree with these policies. Mandatory minimum sentencing is not an effective strategy. It is in fact a past mistake. These failed policies have never, ever demonstrated to reduce gun crime, and they are undoubtedly directed toward Baltimore City.
It is unacceptable that we have to return to Annapolis time and time again to remind our governor and our policymakers of what real folks are really going through. In 2016, we all convened in Annapolis very excitedly to support the governor's initiative, the Justice Reinvestment Act. The Justice Reinvestment passed, Governor Hogan signed it very excitedly. We were very excited to move forth in a new direction in the state of Maryland in terms of who we're locking up and why. In 2018, we are back with a package led by that same governor seeking to further incarcerate individuals, literally diametric opposition to what we were just working on 2 years ago. And so instead of focusing on how we can just lock everyone up or lock the thugs up, whatever terminology that we want to use, why don't we focus on a multi-pronged approach? Why don't we actually do something comprehensive in the spirit of justice reinvestment? Why don't we continue that and figure out, if we want to deal with Baltimore's soaring murder rate, then why don't we figure out how to target those individuals that are terrorizing our communities, but those individuals that are swept up in the criminal justice system because they lack access to basic resources and services, let's connect them to those services. Let's invest in that.
And the data simply does not support further attacks on our youth. Particularly in Baltimore, we've seen significant reductions in our youth arrest rates in areas of violent crime. Of the 344 murders last year in the city, 5 youth were charged in 5 cases. That means youth were charged in less than 1.5% of all the murders. It is ridiculous with those numbers to think that we should be targeting youth with our legislative efforts.
In the U.S., approximately 10% to 19% of youth will join the gang, but they'll drop out of those situations within a year. All right? Given peer pressure, it's understandable that they'll join these situations, but not necessarily commit crimes, and not necessarily need to be sent into this adult prison system. What we need is not these kinds of legislations or bills. What we need to do is support grassroots community organizations that can help these children before they go into the adult system.
Over the past several years, there's been a plethora of social scientific evidence that substantiates the fact that the criminal justice system has undermined the humanity of Black people and people of color and poor people more broadly. The kinds of policies the governor is putting forward are the kinds of policies that get folks in the periphery, right, of the environment, the community where violence happens. And so there are lots of people that will get swept up into the system whose lives will be forever damaged as a result of being swept up by the policies the governor has put forward. The governor, we hope that the governor's package is not accepted by this legislature, the democratically controlled legislature. We hope that this package is rejected and that in place of it, that there's a very serious look at meaningful investments in grassroots entities that are proximate to community, that are experts in anti-violence, and do a better job of anti-violence given the data than investment in law enforcement.